This film begins with an elderly man named Martin. He moved from Paris to this village many years ago and now owns a bakery here. In this village, Martin lives with his wife and son, but most of the time, he works in the bakery. One morning, while he is working, he accidentally burns all the bread. His wife asks why he is not focused on his work. Martin replies that he was thinking about Charles. After that, Martin goes outside, and we see Charles's house. He is setting something on fire, and a lot of smoke is coming from the house. When Martin sees him heading toward his house, Charles tells Martin that he is burning all the things belonging to Jemmy. At that moment, Martin sees a diary and takes it home, which belongs to Jemmy. When he returns, he starts reading it, and the story goes back to the beginning. At the beginning, we see Gemma and Charles. After their wedding, both of them move to the village for a simple life, and their new neighbor becomes Martin. One day, when Charles and Gemma went to buy bread at Martin's bakery, while Charles was looking at the bread, Martin couldn't stop staring at Gemma, as if he had fallen in love with her. The next day, Gemma's dog runs out into the street, and at the same time, Martin's dog also runs out. So Martin follows her and accidentally meets Gemma. After that, they start talking. After talking for a while, they start to like each other and continue chatting for a few more minutes. When Gemma smiles at Martin and talks to him, Martin becomes happy and starts to love her. Later that night, a part comes to Martin and asks for his help. Charles says he has electrical problems and needs his help. Martin goes with him to the house and fixes the electricity. At that moment, Charles and Gemma are impressed and start talking to him. At the same time, Martin's wife comes home and they all start talking. But Martin remains silent because he has nothing to say. The next day, Gemma goes to Martin's bakery and he tells her how special his bread is and how talented people are. After that, Martin asks if she wants to see how it's all done. But Gemma says she wants to try making it herself. Martin tells her to prepare the dough. During the process, Martin watches her intently, and after a while, Gemma feels hot, so she takes off some clothes. Martin starts watching her even more. He looks at every part of her body. After that, Gemma leaves. The next day, guests come to Gemma's house, and among them is a girl, slim and beautiful. After a while, Gemma asks who this girl is, as she is very fit and beautiful, and the girl's name is Bailey. Because of this, she starts jogging, and workouts become her daily routine. One day, Martin meets Gemma and asks why she doesn't come to the store. Gemma replies that she is on a diet, so she doesn't come to his bakery. As she starts to leave, she takes a few steps and screams. Martin asks what's wrong with her. She replies that there's a bug in her clothes. She asks Martin to check her clothes to see if it's true. He starts unbuttoning her back, and after a while sees the bug. Then Martin says it's a poisonous insect, and he needs to remove the venom from her back. Gemma replies that she can do it quickly, but Martin says she'll have to suck it out. She says he can do whatever he wants as long as he removes the venom, and Martin starts sucking the venom from her back. At this moment, a boy named Harvey comes in and sees them in a very strange situation. He can't understand anything, and then asks what's going on. Martin explains that Gemma was bitten by a poisonous insect, and he's just sucking out the venom. While they are talking, Gemma loses consciousness and collapses. Afterwards, Harvey and Martin take her to the hospital in Harvey's car. The doctor gives Gemma some medicine and discharges her. On the way home, Gemma keeps looking at Harvey, and it seems she is starting to fall for him. Gemma falls asleep with her head on Martin's shoulder and after some time doesn't make it home. The next day, when Gemma is shopping at the market, Harvey comes to meet her. She becomes very happy upon seeing the man and starts talking to him. Meanwhile, Martin is watching them, wondering what they are talking about. And after a while, he realizes that Harvey just wants to have an intimate relationship with her. After some time, Gemma and Harvey go their separate ways home. And later, when Gemma gets home, Chaser tells her that he wants to throw a party, and she has to go to the market to get alcohol. After that, Gemma goes to buy alcohol. At the market, Gemma is looking for alcohol, and she meets Harvey again. Gemma tells him about her plans and what she needs to find. Soon Gemma buys the alcohol that Harvey recommends to her and puts it in the car. Afterwards, she starts driving home. Meanwhile, Martin sees and starts to follow. Martin thinks she will go to her home, but after a while, she heads straight to Harvey's house. Martin follows her and waits outside. He thinks about Gemma and what she is doing there with Harvey. However, after a while, she starts to follow. In time, Martin convinces himself that they must just be talking, after which Martin heads home. That same night, a party is held at Chase's house. Martin is also there, but he remains silent and just watches Gemma. After a while, he notices a love bite on Gemma's neck. Martin knows that love bites only appear after intimate relations, so he starts to doubt her, thinking she did sleep with Harvey. Martin feels guilty because if he hadn't driven her with Harvey in his car, none of this would have happened. Afterwards, Martin goes to meet Harvey and asks him about his studies. Harvey replies that his studies are not going well. Martin says that if he can't concentrate, he should call his girlfriend, then it will be easier for him to study. Harvey says that's a good idea, and he will do just that. After that he leaves and Martin goes to Gemma's house. He sees that Gemma is getting ready to go somewhere. He starts to follow her, and after a while she arrives at Harvey's house. After that, when Gemma meets Harvey, they immediately engage in an intimate relationship. Martin gets angry seeing them together and returns home alone. Later, Martin starts thinking that he should talk to Gemma and tell her that she should end her affair, as her relationship with Harvey has no future. At the same time, he has the thought that if he tells Gemma, she will be upset and it will forever ruin their friendship, so he decides to just stay silent. The next day, Gemma comes to Martin's shop and tells him that Charles is going to London for a few days, after which she orders 2 pastries and pays the money. When she leaves in a hurry, she forgets the cake, and after some time, Martin brings this cake to Gemma's house. But he sees through the window that Harvey and Gemma are becoming intimate, and they are talking about how much they love each other. Martin hears all of this, and he becomes upset because he knows that Harvey is lying to her. Afterwards, Martin returns home and starts eating the cake. At that moment, his wife arrives. She says that ever since Charles left for London, Gemma looks very happy. A few days later, Gemma still doesn't stop going out. And one day, when she is getting ready for a date, Charles asks where she is going. Gemma replies that she is going for a run. But when she goes outside, she secretly comes back into the house and changes into a very attractive dress. After that, she goes to Harvey's house, takes off the dress, and engages in an intimate relationship with him. Meanwhile, as they are making love, they accidentally break a statue. When Harvey sees this, he gets upset and says that it's his mother's favorite statue. If she finds out, she will be in a complete panic. Gemma says that her husband is an excellent carpenter, he will fix everything. And Harvey agrees. After that, Gemma tells him that in a few days she is leaving for London forever. And she asks if he will go after her. Harvey replies that he will go after her anywhere. When Gemma hears this, she becomes very happy and returns home after some time. Afterwards, she goes to the bakery to see Martin and tells him that she is leaving for London forever. When Martin hears this, he becomes very sad. Later, at Harvey's house, his mother comes to see him. After they spend some time together, his mother asks about his favorite girl. She says that she sent him here to study and found out that he is involved in the wrong things here. Finally, Harvey's mother gets angry and asks him about her statue. She replies that there were scratches on the statue, so she gave it to the nearest carpenter named Charles. Moreover, he will return it soon. At this moment, his mother says that he will no longer stay in this village. He will return to Paris with her. While they are talking, Harvey receives a message from Gemma. She informs him that she is coming to see him soon. Harvey replies that under no circumstances should she come to him because his mother is at home and he will not go with her to London. Meanwhile, Gemma is standing near the house, and when she reads the message, she gets very upset and starts crying. And afterwards, she simply goes back home. The next day, Harvey's mother comes to Charles's shop and says that her son gave him a statuette to repair, and she wants to take it back. Charles replies that he doesn't have any statuettes. After some conversation, Harvey's mom starts arguing and then gives her car to Charles. She also takes Harvey with her. And when Martin sees all this, he becomes very happy. Afterwards, when Charles tells everything to Gemma, she looks very upset, and so he asks why she is sad. Gemma replies that she wants to say something, but Charles instantly realizes that she cheated on him. He gets very angry and packs his things, then he leaves Gemma and goes to London alone. One day, Martin is playing with his dog, and at that moment, he sees Gemma's dog. Martin picks up the dog and brings it back to Gemma's house. At that moment, Gemma tells him to come inside her house. She gives him a letter to read, and it's a letter from Gemma from Harvey's mother. She writes that if they don't return the statuette, she will sue them. Gemma asks what she should do, and Martin says he needs some time. After that, Martin leaves. and Gemma's ex-boyfriend, named Patrick, comes to her house. She asks him why he is here. Patrick replies that he wants to apologize to her for what happened between them. It was completely wrong, and soon they start living together. One day Martin sees Gemma and Patrick kissing. Martin starts thinking about Gemma's character. He thinks that Gemma doesn't feel any emotions. However, Gemma tells Patrick that everything that happened between them was a mistake. She cannot and does not want to see him again. Soon she calls her husband and tells him that she loves him very much. At this time, Patrick returns home and asks Gemma to go with him to London. After that, Charles also returns home, and after some time, he calls Martin and tells him to come over. When Martin enters the house, he sees Gemma's dead body and he is completely shocked. Then he sees Patrick outside. Just at that moment, the police arrive to take Gemma's body. Martin asks the police how she died. The police respond that she died from suffocation. A piece of bread was lodged in her throat. Hearing this, Martin starts to think. The next day, everyone attends Gemma's funeral. Martin goes to talk to Charles and says that Gemma died because of him. If he hadn't given her the bread, she wouldn't have died. And Charles replies that Gemma didn't die because of him at all. When he entered the house, he saw Patrick holding her from behind. And he thought they weren't having an intimate moment, so he started hitting Patrick. Patrick was just trying to pull the piece of bread out of her throat and was pressing on her stomach. If he hadn't stopped him, she would be alive now. At that moment, Patrick arrives and says that Gemma died because of him. He says he was there, in her room, when she was eating the bread. He kissed her on the neck, which caused the bread to get stuck in her throat. If he hadn't been there, she would be alive. After that, all three of them start to leave. At this time, Harvey arrives with flowers, blaming himself for Gemma's death, because if he hadn't given up the relationship with her, he wouldn't have broken her heart, and she would never have fallen into depression. And also, she would be alive. After this, the story returns to the present time. We see Martin reading the diary. After some time, he puts the money aside and stops reading. At the end of the film, Martin's son says that a new family has moved into their house, and they are also husband and wife. Martin goes to meet the new neighbors, and he sees the wife of his new neighbor. She is also a beautiful woman, and Martin greets her, just as he did with Gemma. And that's all, friends. Please give a like, subscribe to my channel, and share your thoughts in the comments. What do you think of this story? I also recommend you watch these videos and wish you a good day.